What's going on, YouTube? Gonna look at some new Greenlight castings. We got the square body long beds finally out. Kind of got a taste of it with the K5 Blazer, the 81. Now we got a 1981 and a 1983 GMC Sierra Classic 1500 two-wheel drive trucks. Mouthful. And they're gonna be Indy colors. So IndyCar, Indianapolis 500. These are event trucks. Every year different manufacturers will get selected to participate in sponsorship for the Indy 500. 81, 83, it was not Chevrolet, it was GMC. And that was because either they're representing Buicks or other brands like Pontiac, things like that, for pace cars. So for General Motors, the fallback would be a GMC truck. So we got two Sierra Classics, an 81 and 83. Let's take a look at them. These are really, really cool trucks. This is the first time this casting has come out from Greenlight, is with these hobby exclusives. And I got these online, but I think I'm going to go check out the racetrack and see if they're in the gift shop. But anyway, let's take a look. Just like when we looked at the Oldsmobile cars, they're going to have period correct photos of the race. Graphics are really awesome on these trucks. And we can see the race winner for 81, Bobby Unser. So cool, very, very cool. And take a look at the package on the 83. I think I like the 83 a little bit better. Although the classic colors are the silver with the purple on that 81. I think the 81 car was a Buick pace car, but I can't remember. Could have been a Pontiac. And there's your race winner for 83. You can see the background and the Indy licensing, which is really cool. So I got a bunch of these. Did a custom with one of them as well already. Couldn't resist. So let's take a look at the 81 Greenlight. Really, really did a good job with maximizing this casting because they paid attention to what changed and what didn't have to change. Namely on these trucks, it's the bumper and grille. At this scale, even though the interiors changed slightly, you won't really notice that. Look at this thing. So this is silver GMC Indy hauler. These would have been event trucks. They would have been used on the track. Sometimes they'd be outside Indianapolis metropolitan areas as well. These trucks would usually, once they were done, every year they would get distributed to dealerships. Sometimes the dealer would sell it like this. Sometimes they take the graphics off the truck to try to sell it. It's got the Indianapolis tag on the front and rear. This is the 81 specific GMC grille for the Sierra. I'm going to pull the other one out. You'll see the difference. Let's take a look at the graphics package. So this is all period correct. Coloring is done correctly. You can see how fine the detail is on the door with the Indianapolis 500. Really, really clear. Got the Sierra Classic fender emblem. These are those alloy rims that they were on these trucks back then. The holes need to be drilled out, but you just get a pin vise and you can drill those out. But they got the different graphics. This is a Goodyear GT radial tire. The other one is going to be a Goodyear, I believe. And it'll be a different tire, so we'll look at that too. GMC trucks across the windshield brow. You have your emblem there for Sierra on the back of the cab. Slider window. This is a nice metallic silver. GMC on the tailgate. You can see how the tampo on the taillights is done very nicely. Deep bed too. And then underneath, of course, you got your serialized production number, 760. Greenlight's newer tire design. It's that kind of vinylish thin tire. The only thing I'd say is that, you know, again, the ride height on it's a little bit low, even though it was a 2-wheel drive. This is a little bit low, but again, you can take the axles off and fix all that. Let's back it out. Okay, let's bring out the 83. Good looking truck. This is going to be white over, basically like a tan and brown. And it could have been more of a gold in person, but you know, when you got into these type of trucks, they didn't have too much documentation on them. Period correct photos. You'd see these in advertisements, but the later on trucks, they weren't so promoted. So here's the 83, and let's look at this. So another cool attention to detail on the Greenlight side is you can see the bumper guards on this one. You can see the thinness of it. So really, really nice detail. The other thing I'm really happy about is the wheels. They're going to do the actual Chevy rallies, the General Motors truck rally wheels that were not only on the trucks but on the vans as well. See if we can get that to zoom in. You can also see the tire design is different from the two. So again, another General Motors wheel. This is those famous rallies. The dished part of it is very pronounced as well. So they kind of try to do the beauty rings. They painted this wheel a little thick. The actual, if you look at the wheel, you can see some holes develop. That's because the paint's really heavy, but actually those slots are through. You can see it better on this one. So you can see with detail work, that wheel would be outstanding. Just needs the ride height corrected. So let's look at the graphics package. Again, you can see in this one, since it's not silver, you can see how nicely Sierra is picked out on that, and it would have GMC behind it with usually 1500 or 10. And if it was a K series, it'd be obviously a little bit taller. The other thing that was really amazing on this is look at that fine detail on the hood. That's actually the Indy 500 logo. So, and you can get a good look at that grille, the 83 grille. Again, you can see the difference between the two. Greenlight, I noticed, does these hoods separate because this casting is also going to be on the monster trucks. So this hood comes off, and underneath of that is a hole, and that's usually where they put the high-rise intakes and the blower intakes for the monster trucks. So that's why those hoods are two pieces. Now on this thicker paint, this is white paint, so it's not metallic, so it lays thicker. You can see it hides door jambs a little bit, just like on the Blazer. Whereas with better surface tension, you know, usually with metallic paints, you can get it to lay flatter inside grooves. So you can see the casting is there, it just needs to be picked out with a thinner paint. They also have the trim bind here, which was on those trim lines, and it has the white interior. You get to see it here better with this white interior. Let me get this up here. I can show you the detail. They actually do the shift lever and the steering column pretty good. And they do the, on this one, they do the 2-spoke steering wheel. That's more accurate. On that 81, they had that 4-spoke on that Blazer. I don't know if they had those back then. They might have. Most of them are 2 spokes. So, very, very happy. Very, very excited to have these. There's a lot of potential. I actually kind of threw a mock-up of a High Sierra. So I did a K30 off of this. I'll show that real quick. So I took some M2 wheels, and I was able to create a pretty convincing truck from the base casting. I didn't do much to it. I just did basically a basic lift, took off the tampo work, and threw out a truck, and it really turned out nicely. So these will be fun to play with in terms of customs. I think they'll look really good. And you can change these grills out. I put the 81 Blazer grill on that, and it turns it into a Chevy. Took a little brake fluid to take the GMC off the windshield. And that just leaves the plastic alone and just takes off the tampo work. but here you can just use acetone. This is very thick paint on that white. So there we go. Really cool casting from Greenlight. 81 and an 83 GMC Sierra 1500. These are the Indy haulers back in the 80s. Some good stuff. So, again, thank you for watching and subscribing. More Greenlight coming. You know, they did release the 118 wagons, the pictures of them and stuff, so very excited for that. I'm talking about the Panther wagons. So we got 79, 80s LTD Crown Victoria station wagons, and the Mercury Colony Park. So very excited for that, and that'll be coming as soon as it comes out. So thanks for watching again. Till next time.